Hello Starshine! My name is Liz and this is my channel, Simsational Stories. If you have not seen my videos before and you enjoy this one, please like and subscribe. And maybe check out my Facebook page where this whole thing began as well. All relevant links are in the description below. And of course, if you're a Sims player and you'd like to download any of the characters featured in my stories, just search the hashtag Simsational Stories on the Sims 4 gallery. All original content is created by This Is Not Eric. Alrighty then. So, welcome, and what is up, Buttercup? Are you having a good day or a bad day? Whichever your answer, please allow me to distract you from your life and tell you a story, a Simsational story. Before I begin though, I'd like to issue this blanket content and trigger warning. The following story is just Sims, hey. I'm not going to apologise for treating them terribly, if that's what I've done, but I do want to assure you now that although I mean absolutely no harm, I completely understand if you feel unable to consume my content. Many loves, and we will catch each other on the internet elsewhere. Okay, so now we've gotten that over with, let's go. Today's story is from Audre Whitman, the Audacious Maid, and we're at chapter 4. If you have not seen previous chapters and would like to catch up, there are playlists available on my channel so you can hear the entire story in chronological order. The rest of us are going to move on from where we left off last time though. So without further ado. Anastasia and Anton Lewis had been together since high school, almost 15 years. But that was all over now, and they were getting divorced. Their first meeting with the divorce lawyer did not go well. Anastasia was furious that Anton had dared to bring his girlfriend, the maid who she'd caught him cheating on her with, and Anton, in turn, was furious about a vlog Anna had recently released online in which she'd aired out all their dirty laundry. It had taken a lot of work for Anton to convince Audre to stay with him after the release of Anastasia's damning vlog. Audre was only young, just 20 years old, and Anton was her first serious relationship, so she wanted to believe him when he told her that Anna was lying. But it was so hard, especially when everyone knew their business too. Audre hated going to work now. It was ironic. She and Anton used to fight about her job, and she had fought to keep it. But now that everyone was talking about her and judging her because of Anastasia's video, she kind of wanted to quit. It was making her miserable to go there every day and get called a tramp and a homewrecker by everyone she met. She wished Anna had never made that video. After the viral success of her first video, Anna continued to vlog her divorce experience, and Anton wanted her to stop. It was too late to retract her statements about him. He knew that. But did she have to keep bringing it all up? She was defaming him and damaging his reputation. Audre was miserable. He'd been asked about it at work, and it was embarrassing. And besides, wasn't she making money from this? He was probably entitled to some of that money, since it was about him. Anna argued that her vlog definitely wasn't about him. It was about her, and because she never mentioned him by name, he had no claim to any of it. Barely any of her content was even personal nowadays anyway. It might be 1 in 5 videos were life updates, while the rest were beauty tips or product reviews or whatever. Anton had no legal right to stop her from vlogging, and he definitely wasn't going to get any of the money she was making. He was never getting anything from her ever again. Anastasia had come a long way in the 3 months since she had come home to find her husband cheating on her in the bathroom with their maid. At first she had been devastated, broken-hearted and empty. She lost herself for a while there, but then, somehow, she came upon the idea of telling her story, and in doing so, she had begun to heal. More than heal. She had rebuilt herself bigger and better than ever before. She was also buoyed by the success of her video. The groundswell of support from her fanbase had been huge. Anastasia was basically a new woman. Meanwhile, over in Evergreen Harbour, Anastasia was controlling Audre. Or at least it felt like that to Audre. She had thought that she'd wanted to quit her job, until she'd been fired from it. The manager had said that it was because there weren't enough hours to justify her position anymore, but As she walked out of the bistro, Audre had seen him hanging up a position vacant sign in the front window. She went home via a fast food stand and just stood there, feeling depressed and wondering whether they'd heard about her husband in Salani or Mount Komorabi. Maybe they should move. Audre made herself sick with stress that day. She had been so happy with Anton before all this. They were just starting their life together. And then Anastasia had gone and ruined it all. Why did she have to do this to them? It was so rude to air their private business out to the world like that, all in order to advance her own career. And it had worked. Anastasia Lewis was now a household name. And it was even rumoured that she was going to be cast on popular period drama The Waiting Room. Audre took herself home to try and have a relaxing afternoon of self-love. She had a mud bath kit in the cupboard that Anton had given her for their anniversary, and she broke that out, trying to replace the awful, nauseated feeling she had in her stomach with anything else. She was so in love with Anton and felt so bad for him. He didn't deserve any of this, any more than she did. Anastasia was just so bitter and sad that she had to do this to them to make herself feel better. After she got up out of the bath, had a shower and got dressed, Audre went to the kitchen to make some pie. She was finally getting over her worry about what would happen. It would be all right. Things would blow over. She'd find another job, and even if she didn't, Anton could afford to support them. That's what he wanted anyway. Besides, she had suddenly got a craving for pomegranate pie. She liked baking too. It helped her feel calm. Then, suddenly, Audre felt sick again. She rushed to the bathroom just in time to give up everything she'd had to eat that day. From the bistro bagel she'd pulled apart as she got fired, to the greasy ramen noodles she gorged on aimlessly afterwards. It all came up, out her nose and out her mouth with a horrible burning sensation that made her hurl even more, until there was nothing but bile coming up, and she was left wheezing and panting over the toilet bowl. Still heaving, she finally considered that she may be pregnant. Taking that pregnancy test was one of the scariest things Audre had ever done. She was only 20 years old. Barely out of high school, she had expected to have years to come before she had to face something like this, and she really wasn't prepared to see that little blue plus sign show up on the stick. She was pregnant. Her. Having a baby. It was crazy. Insane. She couldn't believe it. Anton couldn't believe it either. He wasn't ready for this. They weren't ready for this. All those years of infertility with Anastasia had lured him into a false sense of security. Heck, he'd even thought that he might have been the problem. Apparently not. He instantly began doing sums in his head and trying to figure out how they could do this. Could they do this? Did they even have a choice? And that brings us to the end of Chapter 4 of Audre Whitman, the Audacious Maid. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can tune in soon to hear the next chapter. Or like I said, look us up on Facebook. Bye!